Today we're making Christmas DIYs from wall decals. I'm Brandy, and this is Making It My Own DIYs. Welcome. The first project will be a candle cloche. We'll start off with a little flameless candle. Check your batteries first. We're going to use a silver and a gray. Also going to use a red and green. A variety of paintbrushes, whichever one you like, and a chippy brush. This is a little holly piece that I have. It's ceramic. I'm going to paint it. And then a bag of this scatter from Dollar Tree. And a cloche, of course. This is plastic. This is from Temu. This is not a sponsored video. But it is a beautiful, beautiful decal. This is just a wall decal. And we're going to have 3 different projects from this decal. Alright, we'll start with the cloche. We're going to, I love using these little wax papers. They work really well. You can get them at Dollar Tree for small projects like this. I'm going to put this medium gray on here first, just painting over this black to give it more of a natural look instead of being so plasticky. You know, it just kind of brings up the look of it to give it a little more of an expensive look. Paint the whole thing. Put your spectacles on. And then I'm going to go on to painting my holly leaves. I've just chosen, I think this is like a regular green color. It's not anything special, I think. I'm going to paint that, and then I'll turn it around and paint this cardinal red on the berries. Now, holly leaves have a shiny finish, and both of these paints are matte. So we are going to address that and fix that. Then I'll take my brush silver and I'll go over the gray finish on the bottom. I'm going to very, very lightly dry brush this. I'm not using a very heavy hand at all. I just want to give it a little bit of shine. Just a little bit. I don't want to cheapen it. If you prefer gold or you have more gold in whatever decals you use, then go ahead and use that instead. The tone on the writing on my decal is like a bluish gray, so that's why I went with these colors. And then I'm just making sure that I dry brush over the lip. Alright, so now I have a classic green and a stiffer brush, and I'll add a little bit of detail onto the leaves. After they are dry, of course. I'm going to sort of dry brush over the ends. Poly leaves have like a little, not a barb, but like a little thorny edge. So each of those little points actually have a little, like a little sticker on them, or a little thorn. They're very prickly. If you've ever seen one, you know, they're prickly. Right where the green and the red overlap, I had a little bit of red. So now I'm just going to go ahead and lighten that up a little bit so that we can just really to give it more detail and crisp it up a little. I'm using a little different brush to go right in the center to achieve this look. It's very subtle. Then I'm going to get my gloss Mod Podge and I'll paint the berries. Very easy to do. I focused only on the berries at this point because I didn't know if there was going to be any bleed through, and I didn't want to smear any of that red onto the green paint job that I just did. And then I'll go over onto the green side. I'm trying to make my strokes actually follow the way the leaf is. So starting, you know, sort of in the middle and going upward and outward toward the point, in case any of the strokes that I use were to show up. I want it to look more natural. And this is how this is going to look dried. Very nice. Now in that bag of scatter, there is some greenery and there's a wire that goes around the bottom. So the wire I wrapped around the candle to get the right size. The berries are not going to fit in my cloche, so they will be removed. But for now, you get the point. We're going to take that wire base with a little bit of floral wire and just twist the green pieces on. I had 2 bags, but I only wanted to use one because I'm trying to keep this video very simple, very first time friendly, and very, very strict budget. All right. Then we'll just sort of overlap. There's going to be some gaps between, but that's necessary because we only have 3 pieces to work with. So I just want to be sure that they're evenly spaced. And then we'll do the same thing over here. They're all going in the same direction. This video and this channel is all about budget-friendly DIYs. It's about keeping things as high-end as you can, but spending as little money as you can, and still trying to be creative and making it unique. Okay, so now I can pull off the berries and use a little wire cutter for any pieces that have paint on them that you don't want to show up. You can just clip those off. You can see on the table that there are some pieces that I had to clip off that had paint on them. So now this is going to fit on the inside. Tested it out, it will fit. Put it on the inside first. You don't have to worry about smushing down your leaves. Just put it inside the cloche and then cap it off with the bottom. Now, if you have a big dome and a small candle, you can add any type of scatter you want to in the bottom. That would be really pretty. You could really make it look as nice as you would like. But now I have some pine cones left over for another project. So once you have cleaned your cloche with some alcohol or some, glass cleaner, even though this is plastic, you can go ahead and dry it and apply your sticker. Now, what I love about these in particular is that they have like a vinyl top type feel. So you can actually lift them up and reposition them. And that makes it great for me because I don't like to measure, right? I just don't like to have to do all that. I want to get my crafts done and out to y'all quickly. But, to be more precise, you can measure and do all that. I'm going to rub it down with my fingers because this is a round surface and I don't want to scratch that plastic. Now this is going to go right on the top. There's a little sort of indentation on the top or a little button circular area. I'm going to use some E6000 to make sure this does not come off. I won't actually be using this to pull the cloche off, but I think it's a cute little decor piece. So I'll put it down right where I want it. You can give that E6000 a minute or two before you add your piece on and it'll get gummy and it'll stick better. I'm just using a touch of hot glue to help support it until that E6000 is firm and has set up completely. And then I have a little floral pick that I'm wiping off my excess. Okay, so this is it. Once it is dry and set up, this is the top. And here is our candle. Once you slide that in and put on the base, you don't want to use a chalk paint because it'll make it really difficult to get the cloche back on the base. All right, and as it is, it was a tight squeeze, but it's not going anywhere. Very easy, and I know that you can do this. I want to say thank you to all of my channel members. You guys rock, and I'm having a lot of fun with y'all. Thank you. Then next is a box planter. I'm going to use a scrap of floral foam, some sanding tools, a little box. You can get little boxes like this at Dollar Tree. Another piece of our decal, and this is a thrifted pick of holly. I'm going to cut off one little section because this is going to go into our planter box. We're going to get it decorated and then we're going to have a cute little piece to go in the middle. You can measure the side and cut it down so you have the right length. I'm going to sand all of that stain off of one side. I looked at the box from all the sides, so I chose the one that I like the best, and I wanted a flat side, so this is it. Once it is sanded, really makes a difference between the two, right? Now you're going to have some options here because I did play around with this. Find the right positioning. Be sure you wipe the dust off before you put your decal down. And then I'm going to rub it on with my finger. Small pieces are very simple to put down. And then I'm just going to use my Cricut tool to go over this and keep it in place. Now, if you want to darken this back up to match the rest of the box, you can go ahead and go around the edges. And where it's a little heavy on the corner, I'm going to show you how you can fix that. This is just wax. This is not like a paint. So once you put it down, you have a little time to wipe it and to fix it before it is permanent. All right, now if you like the lighter color on the background, wipe the decal off. And I actually like that look myself. But if you want to blur it out a little bit, you can take your chippy brush and go over the edges of it to kind of feather it in a little bit more, give it more of an aged look. See, look, we're going to take that heavy corner off with the sandpaper and then just touch that corner back up. Or you can use a finger dauber and that same wax and go all around the edge to blend it out. You can go all the way up to the leaf. And another option, of course, is to fussy cut that leaf and berries out, and then you won't have an edge at all. It's whatever you prefer, whatever you like best. But I needed to put it on top of a lighter color so that you could see the depth and the color in the berries and the leaf. Okay, so we're going to measure down a piece of scrap floral foam, or whatever foam you have. You can use a piece of pool noodle if it'll fit in your little box. You can trim it up. And I know that this is going to fit when I stab it with my paintbrush to lift it out. Add a little bit of glue in the bottom. You can use whatever glue you want because it is going to melt slightly. That's okay for this purpose. We're going to pop that holly leaf right on the inside. Now be sure you give those leaves and berries a good fluff. I love how these are red on the underside, like a burgundy color. It's really pretty. Now we're going to do a little something extra. If you have some beads from Dollar Tree, these are not beads, but they're little like nail plugs. I'm going to use these to make feet on this box. And you can just do this with some, like I said, some beads from Dollar Tree. You can buy the light color and the dark color. I have seen them both in a crafter square. So if you see something like that, you could use it. You could also use those little square wood pieces from the crafter's square. Go ahead and stain those the same color as your project or color them. And then you can use those on the bottom to make little feet. Just a couple of different ideas. If you like it sitting flat, you can certainly do that as well. But I want to always bring to you lots of options so that you can make it your own. All right, I'm just going to take a little bit of that wax and go back over where these pieces need to be blended in so that they look like they belong there and they don't stick out. Doesn't take a lot, just covering up that raw wood on the bottom side. You're going to let it dry. And this is the little arrangement. Tiny, easy, can fit on a coffee bar. If you would like, you could give this as a gift. Very, very simple, but still lovely, I think. Ooh, y'all, November is Subscriber Appreciation Month. If you're new here, what does that mean for you? Well, you're going to be getting a chance to win packages stuffed full of crafting goodies, crafting tools, and etc. straight from my house. Take a screenshot here, pause it, do what you need to do, because this is how you're going to play the game. I also am required to mention the rules and things for you to know. Also, screenshot this if you will. Give it a good look because it is very important while playing this game. Why am I doing this? Because I love you and I appreciate all that you do to help support me with commenting and sharing and liking and just loving up on me. I'm going to give back. The next project is a half moon art piece. Okay, I'm going to use some gray wood tint, but you can choose whatever color you like. Adirondack white and a brush. My goodness. And then the rest of this beautiful transfer. And if I've been calling this a stencil, I do that sometimes, and I'm crazy. Y'all know what I mean, though. So this is just a piece that I thrifted. It is a great little piece of wood to work with. You could use the back, or you could use the front. I think maybe a puzzle was in here at some point. It does have a little bit of damage to the wood, but you can always fix it with wood filler or with a little bit of lightweight spackling. This came from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go right inside the little, I'm going to say there's a crack, but it doesn't go all the way through the wood. It's just a blemish in the wood. And then I will use some type of a squeegee to get the excess off and allow that to dry. After it is dry, I'm going to take a sanding block, also from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go all around this frame because they don't do a lot of detail work on these. You could have some splintering, some rough areas, and you never want to have to worry about that when you're changing out your decor. Give it a good sanding, front and back sides, trim, and over that area that we corrected, and then be sure that you get a clean dry cloth and wipe off every bit of the dust. So this is what the gray tint looks like, and I'm going to put this all the way over the border of this side because I want to use this side of it rather than the other side. Puzzle boxes from kids are really great to use for this sort of thing, but if you don't have this, use any type of flat wood or cardboard or MDF surface that you have to put yours on. I'm also going to go right around the edges in the bottom because it is not oil based. You can actually put paint right on top of this and it won't bleed through. Just a little tip for you. There's a difference between antiquing wax and the stains or the tints, the wood tints. Okay, so once it is dry, and I did 2 coats of the white paint in the inside, I'm going to peel off this beautiful transfer. Now, this transfer, I'm telling you, I can't say enough how wonderful, and again, not sponsored, but this transfer is fantastic. It's a big piece. If you're not comfortable working with a big piece, I'm kind of used to it now, but if you're not comfortable, cut that thing in half, long ways. Just cut it in half, and it's easier to work with. But look, I'm going to start in the middle. I've already looked at it to see how I want to position the sides. You can just lean it over and work with one side from the middle outward. So I'm in the middle, I'm using my fingers, I'm pushing down any wrinkle or bubble that might be underneath. If you do have an issue, you can lift back up on it and then press it back down. I'm going to use my fingernail and kind of push it into the sides there. So you see that fell and it shouldn't have been down yet. It was leaving a wrinkle or a crease. I just lifted it back up. I'm going to push it back down and then take my fingernail, go around. And then you can use a squeegee if you would like, but be sure you get it tight, all those pieces tight next to that trim. And then what you don't see is me using my razor knife to go around and cut off the extra pieces and throw those away, the pieces that are bumped up against the edge. So here it is once it's complete. Beautiful. Now look at all the options you have for this, for orientation. Any way that you want to use this piece, you can use it. I'm going to use it as a half moon. I'm going to flip it over. We'll make a hanger for the back with some scraps of cardboard and a little piece of jute. I'm going to make this where I can slide it back and forth to make sure it doesn't tilt. Use whatever type of hanger. If you're confident in the placement in the middle, go ahead and put it there. But I will warn you, if you get it off center, it's going to hang crooked. This way, I'm pretty much assured that wherever I put it, it's going to hang straight. And this is how mine will be. You can seal it with some Mod Podge. I would probably use a mat. I have not sealed mine though. I'm fine with it just like it is. All of these pieces, of course, would be best used indoors. Here is our Christmas backdrop. I'm working on it. It's still a work in progress, you know. And no, for those of you who are concerned, I am not expecting any of you to go out and get rid of your Halloween decor and your fall decor. No, no, no. This is what I do for a living, so I have to bring you the things early, right? So that you can get your inspiration and buy the things you need for when you do want to start crafting. So be sure that you subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed the information I've given today. Give me a like if you like the crafts, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out when you have any additional opportunities to connect with me. I have my little cloche here. Thank you so much for watching. It is always a pleasure to talk to you in the comments, in our floral box, in our half moon decor piece. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you soon. Bye.